Many years back, I used to work in Nortel, making those Vista 390s, 918 and all that, and 392s vice versa, and the Iridium those guys. Here's one of the phones there. That's why I use Nortel equipment so much at home. Well, anyway, so we had an air compressor in this old factory. It used to be on Sussex Road, London. No longer there, torn down. Made way for some new mega mall there now. Anyway, so, well, make a lot of a superstore, real Canadian superstore in that place where it used to be. Anyways, I tell you a story one time too, of one of the employees, that made a very bad mistake. Well, use air compressor to use air screwdriver to put the screws in the phones and to assemble and compress fittings on there. And what happened there with this? We had a problem with air compressor. It kept running and pressure fit went. So one of my employees decided to undo the wiring on the compressor running to pressure, buggered up the wiring, and my God, I was just fuming mad. Oh, I was not happy about it. So what did I do? I can't mention names to that employee because of that confidentiality. Man, oh man, I always had the air compressor guy come in there on London Air System time, come in to look at it, to fix the damn compressor. Well, this guy buggers up the wiring real bad. The guy, and I said, how freaking dare you? I got mad at him. I said, ooh, S-O-B, how could you freaking do it? You're supposed to be doing shipping and receiving. No, I had somebody called, look at this, to fix it, replace the pressure. How could you freaking bugger up the wiring on it? Oh my God, I was really freaking angry at it. I told him, I called him, you rotten, you dirty jackass. I called him the donkey. You know what? I went in my office, I did, and I walked back out with the job separation slip in my hand and the paycheck. And you know what? See this here? This is job separation slip. This is paycheck. You fired. He got fired just like that. Now, talk about screw up work. I fired him right on the spot. He never got back to work and ended up doing that again. That's what the employee I said, you fired. I fired him right there. And that was one of many short notes. Now, funny, right across the street, Kelsey's, a waitress screws up on with the wrong amount. And the debit was saying, well, yeah, I seen it. And my lady friend sees it too. Well, $9.50. Well, a $65 meal came out $9.50. Well, because waitress group. Now, what's gonna happen? I just hope her employer, Kelsey, catches her doing it, find out what she did wrong. I know what the employer is gonna say to her. Here's your job separation slip. Here's your paycheck. You fired. Well, actually, that waitress got fired for that today. Believe it or not. She lost her job. Believe it or not. A manager, owner of the restaurant phoned me up this morning and apologized for that and fired the waitress. She lost her job. Well, anyways, that's good. Well, serves her right. I had to fire somebody 20 years ago in Northern Telecom back in the 70s and back in the 80s when I was plant supervisor. I had ability to fire. I was a big boss. I had to fire there at that time. So I did it. Old days long gone. You take all the phones in Taiwan, Japan. Well, yeah, they're not a quality worth coming out of London, Ontario. Rather buy phones made in Canada, not made in another country. Anyways, just a little blog about workplace and not to do stuff. Well, the air compressor guy, he came, he looked at and said, who did all this? My freaking employer just fired him with the pink slip. He can't come back. Oh boy, and it cost the plant $880 want $800 to fix the frickin' thing, undo a mess he did, cost time and labor, came up to almost $1,000 right there. $1,000 of lost revenue for factory. I'm not happy about that, you know. My God, he got, not only that, I fired him. On top of that, you know, too, another mistake another employee did one time. He turned around in the break room, left the burner on the stove. And I came into the break room, I found the burner on, you know, and I walked into it. It was left on, I came in at nighttime. I just come back at night, just finished delivering a whole load of, you know, equipment down somewhere down in Toronto, drove a truck up, parked in the lot, come into the factory, into the office to put the keys, hang the keys up, and sign that return slip for vehicle. Just made sure I wheel back and location where it was. I handed the keys back to the vehicle and all that, but keys at office. Anyways, so I look over and I walk into the break room, turn the lights on, and guess what was left on a frickin' stove in there? A damn frickin' burner left on. It was running away, and I looked around, see who the last employee. I went back, checked the video camera. The employee was, you know, Dean, Scrappy Dean. Guy, real crapper, you know, big time, worked well. Anyway, so gruffy old Dino. So I turned around and I said to him, you know, calling Scrappy Dean, my boy. Turned around, and did you go into? When I came in working, did you go in the break room near the end of your shift? Yeah. Well, I turned on, made a pot of spaghetti. I turned on and heated up some stuff on the stove to eat. Well, you left the burner on, Mr. Bryson. You left a freaking burner on the stove. You know what? The factory could have burned to the ground, and you could be out of job. 100 people could be unemployed as a result of this. And although no building, no job, for that I gave him a warning. And that I estimated how much hydro that burner used in the 10 hours they're on, and I charged them up. I debit off the paycheck about $85 worth of electricity. I set the $85 pay. And I made him pay for electricity that burner used. And I said, you know what? You're going to lose $85 of your pay on your next paycheck because of that. Not to pay for electrical cost operating burner and waste electricity. That's to pay for it right there. I made him pay for waste electricity. And on top of that, well, he never did that again. But I made him say, simple, no building, no job, plain and simple. You know, put a sign out. And those of you who think leave a burner on stove, remember, no building, no job. Think about it. With a big, huge question mark. And after that, nobody done that again. Well, this is two other stories I heard about. And two stories I know of. Other ones out there, just gonna give you two. Well, you know, that Rachel Kelsey got fired, lost her job. Anyway, vlog over.